Lots to talk about on this obscure record at number 41 on my fancy playlist of March 18th, 1983. Steel Breeze. Does anybody remember Steel Breeze? Dreaming is Easy. It was a runner-up. Their biggest hit was You Don't Want Me Anymore. Back in the fall of 1982, that song went to number 16 on Billboard's Hot 100. Dreaming is Easy, the runner-up, just barely cracked the top 30. It's from their debut album. Their debut album, well, it was produced by a guy named Kim Foley. Kim Foley has had a colorful history in the pop music field, and I'll touch on it in just a minute. But first off, they're from Sacramento. These six-man band from Sacramento, and they scored a local hit with "You Don't Want Me Anymore." It was generating a lot of interest on the local scene, and there was a nightclub in Hollywood. It was called Madame Wong's. They had all these demos. They had, well, legend has it, they had hundreds of demos that they were just going to throw away. They're going to trash it. Forget it. And a producer named Kim Foley went through the demos, 1,200 demos, supposedly 1,200 demos. And he came across the Steel Breeze record, You Don't Want Me Anymore, and he liked it. Now, Kim Foley, this guy goes back. Kim Foley was in the Hollywood Argyles. Remember the Hollywood Argyles back in 1960? They weren't even a real group. It was Gary Paxton who sang, and being arranged and produced or co-produced by Kim Foley, had that huge hit, Alley Oop back in 1960. And he also he produced Popsicles and Icicles by the Mermaids. Remember that one? Late 63, early 1964, a song that was written by David Gates. I read a few minutes ago that David Gates, now he was a songwriter, this was pre-bred David Gates. He met Kim Foley while Kim Foley was hitchhiking in Los Angeles. He was an LA guy, and he co-produced, oh, this is great, I didn't know this, Paul Revere and the Raiders. You remember Paul Revere and the Raiders back in the 60s? Hungry, Good Thing, The Great Airplane Strike, You Shouldn't Take It So Hard. Well, Paul Revere and the Raiders, their first top 40 hit, Like Long Hair, 1961. It was an instrumental. The instrumental was co-produced by Kim Foley. And Gary Paxton had a role in that too, but it's not clear what role he had, arranged by Paxton. But anyway, I don't know if they created the original demo of Like Long Hair and Paul Revere and the Raiders redid it, but either way, they had a lot to do with that tune, Like Long Hair. But I'm getting off the beaten path, or I'm beating this path down big time, talking about the history of Kim Foley. By the late 70s, Kim Foley was managing a group called the Runaways. Remember the Runaways? Leah Ford, Joan Jett, and there was another woman, can't remember her name. Read a fantastic biography of Leah Ford a few years ago. Amazing biography where she talked about her days with the Runaways. But anyway, let you know that Kim Foley's he's been around. He's been busking around the pop music scene, the rock and roll scene for a number of years before he discovered Steel Breeze. Now, here's what happened. There was a lawyer. It was Kim Foley, and there was a lawyer. Wrote down the lawyer's name. The lawyer's name was David Chatfield. David Chatfield was talking to a president. He was talking to the executive of Chrysalis Records. And the executive, his name was Tom Trum, or Trumbo, something like that. And Trumbo, or the executive of Chrysalis Records, told Chatfield, I'm looking for a band. That sounds like Journey. And Chatfield, he goes to Kim Foley's house. He says, you know, this guy at Chrysalis Records, he's looking for a band who sounds like Journey. He's looking for another Journey. And Kim Foley says, well, man, check out this demo I came across. I had to go through thousands of demos that Madame Wong's, the nightclub in Los Angeles, was going to throw away. And I came across this amazing record. Still Breeze, a group called Still Breeze. You Don't Want Me Anymore. So Chatfield listens to it. Kim Foley listens to the demo again, and they say, you know something, this song is a hit. They flew to Sacramento. They signed the group. They recorded. Kim Foley produced their debut album, self-titled, Still Breeze. The album went to number 50 on Billboard's Top 200 album charts. And there you go. You Don't Want Me Anymore was a big hit with some help from MTV in its infancy in 1982. And this was back when MTV was playing off videos. Nothing like it is now. And then Dreaming is Easy, a top 30, 1983. On my fantasy playlist at number 41, the date March 18th, 1983.